Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, here to address the rumors that the Tennessee Titans might trade head coach Mike Vrabel to the New England Patriots. Also, I guess you could say the rumors that the Patriots are interested in Mike Vrabel. I guess maybe mutually. Is it more on the Patriots? Is it more on the Titans? I mean, I guess it has to be more on the Patriots more so than vice versa. So let's say maybe the Patriots having interest and maybe the Titans considering it more than anything. And my thoughts on these rumors. So, in case you don't know, let's give a recap because it's important to consider everything here in terms of where these stories are coming from, which side these stories are coming from, and the rationales and motives that might be behind these rumors. So, from the side of Boston, okay, you're hearing the reports that Vrabel would be interested in, they would be interested in him. At the very least, they would be interested in him. That he is someone that they identify as someone that they would move on to post Belichick. And Belichick is done in New England. He cannot survive this season. I am of the opinion that the Patriots will win one more game. I think they will beat the Jets week 18. Unless if they, and they might do this, unless if they literally throw out an unbelievably obvious tanking team that would need to be, I mean, I don't know. This has happened before and teams have gotten away with it. But to the point to where you'd have to investigate it, being like, oh my God, you guys cannot trot out. Like, I feel like they would even play Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. They trot out like, who's their guy, Malik Cunningham or something, and just with no wide receivers and have a bunch of guys resting, and I think they'd have to get fined or stripped or something. And I don't think it's going to be that bad. So I'm going out on a limb to say that. I still have that as a win for the Patriots. And if not that one, they might sneak another one. But regardless, it's either going to be 2-15 or 3-14 for the Patriots, okay? He's done, okay? Maybe I've seen the schedule, and we'll pull up their schedule real quick. I do not see any way the Patriots win 3 games. Absolutely not. 2 is like an absolute outside chance if they beat the Jets and then they're able to upset somebody else. I can't tell you who that's going to be. So this week they host the Chargers, and then they go to the Steelers, then they host the Chiefs, then they go to the Broncos, then they go to the Bills, then they host the Jets. Okay, so they're facing all winning teams, literally, except for the Chargers. And you know, while the Chargers are not very good, I think the Chargers are going to beat them, hopefully, my God, in New England. So maybe they beat the Chargers and the Jets. I doubt it. I think they could beat the Jets, though. So they're bad. Belichick is out of there. That I'm certain of. He can't survive this. Brady having left and won a Super Bowl, last season being aggression on the year before that, and the complete regression and failure and now bust that is Mac Jones, how depleted this roster has become. I was looking at this roster and how bad it is. They're not even, like, how it's gotten this bad. Belichick has just been sleeping, and they have cap room because they haven't paid anybody. Like, the highest paid player that they have next year is Matthew Judon, and J.C. Jackson, and the Chargers are paying a lot of J.C. Jackson's contract. Because, like, and by the way, and Matthew Judon is getting paid $13.5 million a year. They don't have any $20 million players. They don't have any $18 million players. Wait, you haven't gotten any players? At least, hey, the Bears are trading for Montez Sweat and giving him $25 million a year. Is that overpaid? I don't know, but at least they're trying. Not even try. So Belichick has set up this disaster where there's no talent. No one's getting paid because there's no one to pay because they're all bad. It's a terrible. So GM and Coach Belichick are out of there. So the Patriots are now looking to move on. What are they going to do? And Mike Vrabel, the longtime New England Patriot who was inducted to the Patriots Hall of Fame, or whatever they want to call it. I think it's Hall of Fame. Recently, and even talked about, you know, how he's a Patriot, a hard little bit in his speech, is a potential candidate that they're looking at if you believe the rumors. Okay, do I believe the rumors? Yes, I actually believe that they would be interested in him. Despite Mike Vrabel not having a great season, he's going to have his back-to-back losing season here. At the very least, having last year's record probably worse. I think we can all agree probably worse. We'd be shocked if he went 7-10 again. And yet they're interested. So that's the Boston side of things. Also, what came out of Boston, though, so that was the initial report. The report that came out a couple days ago was that Vrabel apparently wants out of Tennessee because he does not have a great relationship with Tennessee Titans general manager Ran Carthon. And apparently, now this is what was said. I think it was said on a podcast, but apparently the NFL put a lot of pressure on the Titans to hire Ran Carthon as a diversity hire. That was the implication there. And that Vrabel didn't like that, and he doesn't really gel with Carthon at all up to this point. On that, I'm calling BS on multiple fronts. Now, we don't have to sit here and have a whole debate about affirmative action and the Rooney Rule, and sometimes favoritism is given and whatever, and blah, 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 blah. We don't have to have that debate right now on this channel. We don't have to have that political conversation. But let's have this conversation. Do you really believe that an owner is going to hire anyone of a minority and they're not getting anything to do so? It's the other team, the team that you hire from, the 49ers, they get the draft pick. It's not like you get a draft pick for hiring a minority. It's not like you get any money for that. So why would an owner hire a minority that they don't have faith in as general manager? Not as an assistant coach, not as a ball boy, not as a water boy. As your roster decision maker, who you're probably at least going to be tied to for 3 years and hopefully a decade plus. Well, I'm going to hire him because no, I'm going to hire the best candidate for the damn job. I can't believe that any owner in the NFL will do that. I just can't believe that. I refuse to believe that. No way. So let's just go ahead and cut that out right now. No one would be that stupid and crazy. And if they are, then they deserve to be fired or removed as an owner. You can't be fired. So, BS. And then the other BS I'm going to call is, how can Vrabel and Carthon have a bad relationship? They've only been working together for now 10 months. What sort of relationship can they even have? They went through one draft and one free agency. There's been a couple things that maybe Vrabel hasn't liked. Like we traded Byard, maybe Vrabel didn't want to do that. And we let go of a couple of guys that were veterans on bad deals like Bud Dupree and Taylor Lewan, who is retired now, I think. I don't know, but the official report is on that, but, whatever. And some other players, I don't think he gives a damn about any of those veterans. So, no, maybe the buyer, maybe, but I doubt it. That was midseason, and that was at the point where we weren't even really looking to compete anymore. The draft? What in the draft did Carthon do that Vrabel would have such a problem with? Vrabel did not like Malik Willis, so he's probably damn happy he got Will Levis. And right now, Will Levis is the damn thing saving Vrabel's job. It wasn't going to be Tannehill who got hurt. Thank God we took Will Levis in the draft. Who the hell cares about Peter Skoronski? Oh, that's such a crazy pick that was. And then who else cares about the other picks? There's no other pick there that would make Vrabel so mad that Ran Carthon had such a bad offseason. And then we didn't have money to sign anyone in free agency or trade for anyone anyway. So in the 10 months that they've had, Carthon hasn't done much. I like what he's done. He didn't sign much of anything because he couldn't. And he didn't draft much of anything because he couldn't. And what he could draft, he's drafted pretty well. So how are they having some sort of bad relationship? The only way is if Vrabel wanted input on the GM. Well, you're not going to get that. That's crazy. Okay, maybe some input, but you can't pick the damn GM if you want to do that, which is, he won't get that in New England. Okay, no one's giving him GM and head coaching responsibilities or that sort of power anywhere, not even in New England. So BS. So that report is BS. You're being lied to, my friend. Okay, I just don't believe that. So now we go to the Titans side of things. So on the Titans side of things, we're hearing that from Deanna Rossini of ESPN. So she's saying Vrabel is happy in Tennessee, and Tennessee is happy with Vrabel, and they see him in their long-term future. And also, he has no interest in going back to college, and I believe that. Why the hell would Vrabel? Vrabel does not want to go around recruiting in college, even for his alma mater. That's crazy. To me, that's a step down. Particularly because he has been coach of the NFL like 2 years ago. He hasn't proven like Nick Saban did that he's incapable, or at least it seemed that Nick Saban was incapable of coaching the NFL. Same with like Steve Spurrier, I guess you can say. So he has more to prove in the NFL. Going to college now doesn't make any sense. So I'm inclined to believe that, yes, Tennessee still wants Vrabel. Why? Because they had a choice. And last year, they could have kept John Robinson. Or they could have fired them both. No, they fired John Robinson and they kept Vrabel. And we went into this offseason saying we don't have much cap. We don't have much draft picks. This is what we're going to do. And that's what we did. This was the plan. Some people thought it was going to be better than this. I didn't. I thought 9-8, which was foolish of me. My initial prediction was 6-11, though. I should have stuck with that. But still, this was what it was going to be. We knew this was going to be mostly a transitional year. Everyone knew this. Everything has gone according to plan, mostly. So I just don't buy it. And then from the standpoint of should the Titans do it? Should they make this move? Should they trade Vrabel? My philosophy is this. If you're willing to trade your head coach for a draft pick, you should have you have to be at the point of wanting to fire him. Because it doesn't make sense to either you have your head coach that you believe you can win Super Bowl with and multiple Super Bowls with, or you don't, and he needs to be out of there anyway. So only if they're planning on firing him and the Patriots are like, hey, we'll give you a draft pick for him, and you're like, oh, snap. Okay, well, let's just trade him then and get something for him. Unless if it's that, why would you trade him unless if you plan on firing him? He's either your head coach or he's not. Either you believe he's the guy to win Super Bowls for you or he's not. Because a second round pick, which it probably would be, you're not getting their number 2 overall pick. Number 2 or number 3, maybe number 4. You're not getting it. That'd be insane for them to trade essentially the ability to take the second best quarterback in the draft, and they need a tackle, or one of the best tackles or wide receivers in the draft, an elite prospect in this year's draft for Mike Vrabel. If they're offering that, they're insane. And then I'm like, okay, y'all are crazy. No, they're not doing that. They might offer a first next year. I doubt it. I think you're looking at a second, maybe more, a second and a fourth, a second and a fifth, or something like that, something weird like that. There is precedent for this. Usually, though, what this happens only when the head coach wants out, the other team wants him, and you're like, okay, let's make it work for compensation. So Vrabel would want to have to go to the Patriots rather than stay here. But why would he want to do that? The Patriots stink. They're awful. And I told you, next year, okay, we're bad. We're better than the Patriots now. We're going to be better than them next year. They're going through a real rebuild. They need to rebuild their entire wide receiver core. They need to rebuild their entire tight ends. They need to rebuild a large part of the offensive line. They need to get more playmakers on defense. They're awful. We're better than them. We're farther along. We're a year farther along than them. A whole year. And what is he? Unless if he just loves Drake May so much more than Will Levis, who I assume he wanted because he was involved in the draft process. So I don't think this is going to happen. It's a good conversation to talk about, just in case it does. I won't give it a 0% chance because there is some smoke here. I think the Patriots are putting out feelers, and I think the Titans will ultimately not be interested. But if it does happen, I'll be right here to break the news and talk about it here on Sports Fan Entertainment. So those are my thoughts on the rumors of Mike Vrabel potentially being traded to the New England Patriots. What are your thoughts on this potential trade? Will it happen? Is it BS? Is it true? What do you believe? Tennessee side, Boston side? Should they do it? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See y'all later.